Hi there and welcome along. Today we're looking at the Savoy ABC in Broad Green, West Croydon, London in the UK. So off we go. The site chosen for the new Savoy was acquired upon the demolition of old houses that had been unoccupied since World War I, when they were used by troops. The Savoy Cinema was designed in the offices of ABC's architect William R. Glenn, and it seated 2,300. That's 1,200 in the stalls and an amazing 1,100 in the enormous circle. All seats had light oak backs with orange mohair velvet and sponge rubber armrests in a contrasting shade of green. Stage drapes were also finished in green and gold mohair. The auditorium was finished in old rose, gold and green. The proscenium was almost 50 foot in width, and a fully equipped stage was included for live performances. There was an orchestra pit, and although no organ was installed, an organ well and space for organ chambers were provided to the left of the proscenium, the inner grille being the outlet for the chambers. During the 1950s, a Hammond or similar type of organ was brought in for a while for musical interludes. The cinema was equipped with Ross projectors, carbon arcs and spotlights, all supplied by Pathy Equipment. The sound system was RCA High Fidelity. So the Savoy opened at 2 p.m. on Monday the 9th of March 1936. The opening film was Mary Burns' Fugitive, starring Sylvia Sidney, supported by Music Hall Charms with Henry Hall and the BBC Dance Orchestra. Laurel and Hardy in Thicker Than Water and Pathé Super Sound Gazette. The manager was Mr. E.W. Basil. The Savoy offered all stalls for sixpence and all circle seats for 1 shilling before 3:30 p.m. After that, the rear stalls were 1 shilling, whilst the circle was 1 shilling and threepence or 1 shilling and sixpence. On Saturday and Sunday or bank holidays, the circle was 1 shilling and sixpence or 2 shillings. The Savoy was one of the top 3 Croydon cinemas and enjoyed the best of the ABC releases in the town. In this picture you can clearly see stairs down to the stalls and up to the circle. This pattern was the same on the other side of this spacious foyer. This shot of the auditorium shows the lighting was concealed in troughs across both the ceiling and on the side walls. The centre light fitting is not switched on here. On 31st of March 1953, in the early hours, a huge fire broke out at the Savoy. A motorist passing by at 2:15 a.m. spotted flames and smoke pouring out of the roof and raised the alarm. It turned out to be one of the biggest blazes in Croydon for 100 years. 50 firemen from 3 Croydon stations including London, Wallington and Mitcham, plus crews from Streatham, Tooting, Beckenham and Battersea. A total of 100 firemen, aided by 3 100-foot high turntable ladders, were battling the blaze, and eventually the fire was extinguished, but not before severe damage was done. And in all of this, nobody was hurt. The entrance hall and inner foyers were saved, but the auditorium and stage area were completely gutted. Due to its fireproof construction, the projection room escaped intact. Later, as the manager was allowed into the building, he was visibly distraught and upset. On the stage, a few charred scraps of cloth and blackened wire was all that remained of the expensive fittings. In the auditorium, only black ashes that once were splendid carpets remained. So intense was the fire that every seat was devoured, leaving the seat stands twisted and partly melted. Plasterwork was mostly reduced to powder. Glass in the exit signs was dissolved. It was a scene of utter devastation. Before the cinema could reopen, much of the steelwork supporting the roof had to be replaced and an entirely new ceiling and proscenium arch fitted following the lines of the old orchestra pit. Due to post-war austerity and restrictions placed on restoration still in force, the cinema auditorium could not be returned at this time to its original form. A mix of wallboards, sections of drapes, illuminated from above, with serge material being applied to other parts of the building. The foyers and entrance hall were decorated, but only one coat of paint was allowed, wartime restrictions still in force, etc. Here is an article from Ideal Kinema, which details the effort put into the project by ABC. This is for you to pause and read later. Not now, we're busy. Here's a picture of the new look screen area sporting a lovely pair of house tabs in gold and maroon edging. Take my word for that, because this picture is black and white. These were soon removed though to the Regal Bexley Heath, as they proved far too heavy for the Savoy's curtain control gear. A new screen suitable for 3D films and CinemaScope was installed in readiness for CinemaScope, I guess. And eventually the cinema rose again from the ashes. The Savoy reopened on the 27th of December 1953 with Esther Williams in Dangerous When Wet. The first CinemaScope film was The Command, a Western screen from Sunday 26th of September 1954. That's some 9 months later. Nearly 5 years later, on the 5th of July 1958, the cinema closed to enable proper reconstruction of the auditorium to take place. It reopened on the 19th of October 1958 with Ice Cold in Alex, with a new name, ABC. 4 lozenge-shaped light boxes were mounted vertically on one side of the building, 3 of which carried the iconic ABC. The ABC now seated 2,118, with every seat covered in a wine moquette, with the whole auditorium benefiting from a lavish and modern new look. Probably in the 1960s it was equipped with Philips FP20 projectors, peerless lamp houses and RCA optical and magnetic sound, but we don't know the exact date. The ABC staged many live shows in the 60s, including the Beatles, Cliff Richard, Billy Feary, Dionne Warwick, the Everly Brothers, PJ Proby, Gene Pitney, The Shadows and Chuck Berry. Bingo was also experimented with on Sunday afternoons, but not so well. In 1972, the ABC closed on the 20th of May to be converted into a 3-screen complex. The final film shown as a solo screen was Waterloo. The circle became ABC 1 with 650 seats, with the floor extended to the proscenium, obviously, with a new screen and screen curtains. The ceiling was painted pink, the walls and soffits in regal red, nightshade and rose grey. The carpets were red and the screen curtains were amethyst violet. ABC 2, seating 390, was situated on the right-hand side of the former stalls area. This was decorated in marigold and light stone. The seats were turquoise and the screen curtains were orange. A large area to the right of ABC 2 became the licensed bar. ABC 3, seating 187, was created on the left-hand side of the former stalls. The walls and ceiling were decorated in a Tuscan shade. Seats were in lemon, as were the screen curtains. The opening ceremony was performed by Peter King, Managing Director of EMI Cinemas and Leisure, who along with other directors greeted the civic guests. At this time the ABC was owned by EMI, and the lower lozenge-shaped sign on the exterior now carried the EMI logo. The most profitable film to have played the new 3-screen complex was the original Jaws. This played an incredible 26 weeks across the screens and also returned again for another run a little bit later. The FP20s were still there in the 80s in screens 1 and 3, and the DP75 in screen 2 with 6-track magnetic sound. I wonder why not screen 1? would have made more sense perhaps. Let me know in the comments. The Cannon Group bought the cinema circuit in 1986. The cinema was renamed Cannon with a new vertical sign which was installed on the 18th and 19th of October 1986. And at that time the Cannon was the only surviving cinema in Croydon. In the late 90s it became the Safari Cinema, and a small fourth screen was created in the lower part of the building, but we don't know exactly where. If you know where, let me know in the comments. The Safari Cinema though closed in 2004, and the Savoy ABC Cannon Safari was demolished in stages between March 2005 and April 2008. Now it was replaced by an uninspiring block of flats called Gary Court, which saw the word bland taken to a whole new level. Yeah, just look at the picture. Now let's have a look at a few staff names and a few social media reactions. Well, that's about it for this one. I really hope you enjoyed this look back at the brilliant Savoy ABC in Croydon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but don't smash the like button, just click on it. It's done nothing to you. Be good to each other and stay well. Till next time, ta-da.